The whole mentality of these police were, I don't give a fuck. We got to stop this guy because he ain't going to quit. You know? He's just on a fucking path of destruction.
Welcome to Talk Murder to Me with our very special guest, Rebecca.
Hello, hello.
Now two-time special guest.
Yes.
Along with the usual crew, John, Nicole, and myself, Jen Collins.
Rebecca would like to share who she related to for the Spice Girls.
Ginger Spice. I don't know why. I just thought she was super cool with the red hair, then Jerry Spice, and,
Yeah.
you know.
But she's the one who broke up the band. She was the one who left first.
Yeah. Are you trying to break up our band?
Fudge, no.
You know who I am? I'm Old Spice.
You could be our tour manager.
That was really good, John. That was good.
That was.
Yeah. So, welcome again, Rebecca.
Thank you. Glad
The last
to be
episode
here.
you were on was the Piggy episode.
Oh, you know what's funny is his last name is Sue.
I loved my card, by the way. Thank you.
Oh, you got your card?
Yeah, I got my
Nice.
card. That's why I said Suey.
Oh, yeah, because I wrote that in the card.
I didn't see the card.
So for all those primos, I've sent out personalized cards with the little notes. So Rebecca is wearing Andrew Cunanan's glasses tonight.
Yeah.
They look very similar.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
I like them.
Yeah.
Thank you. Privé Revo.
Nicole, you're from France.
Nope.
Oh, I was like, what?
Wow.
Some part of you is from France.
That is correct.
Nicole, can you please read this? Because I don't know how to speak French.
I don't know how to speak French either. So.
All right.
Give it to
I
me.
took Spanish, yo.
Give it to me. Après nous la déluge.
Après
Après nous
les
déluge.
deluge. Psychopathy.
Psychopathy.
Okay. Après nous deluge. All right, say it one more time.
Après nous les déluge.
All right, what does that mean?
Something of the something.
Doesn't mean open.
What does that mean?
Opera open.
I think so. Like, is it when one door closes, one door opens? I don't know.
Okay, so the reason that I wanted to open up this podcast with that is because that is what Andrew Cunanan wrote in his high school yearbook when everyone else...
Wow, he's so sophisticated.
He has a very high IQ.
So everyone else has a full half a page about them, all the students. You see, that's all his accomplishments. This is Andrew Cunanan's page. And for his, he wrote that single quote. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Does that mean something like he will be remembered or something like that?
No, but his classmates did vote him the most likely to be remembered.
Oh, whoa. That's
Après
weird.
nous le deluge. Okay, what was it?
Après nous les déluge.
Okay,
I'm
what
going to
she
laugh when
said.
someone from France is like, you really botched that one.
Get it
All
right.
right. Okay, so it means after me, the flood, which completely sums up this guy.
Huh.
So it means basically once I'm done, like after my existence, the flood to like destroy everything. That's what he wrote it for.
That's weird.
It's weird.
That's not a high school quote.
Yeah.
But the
No.
weird thing is, like, he had all that section to put all of his stuff, and he put just that one quote.
Because he wanted to be cool. He's like, I'm such a badass.
All right.
And it's not like he had like any friends.
Now he had lots of friends, and he was.
I don't think real friends though,
Yeah.
because he was so flamboyant and like, you know, made up all these stories and
Yeah.
stuff. So
Where I left off last time was Andrew Cunanan murders his best friend Jeff Trail, or one of his best friends, in David Madsen's apartment. Remember? Well, we started with Versace,
right.
But that is at the very end. That's his last kill.
Right.
Okay, so he befriended these two guys named Jeff Trail and David Madsen. Now, David Madsen was the one Andrew Cunanan loved. They were in Minneapolis because Jeff Trail got out of the Navy. He was a Navy officer, but he was also gay.
Damn
That's
Navy
why he had to get
officers.
out of the Navy because it was
okay.
like during that I think Clinton didn't Clinton
Before the Don't Ask, Don't Tell thing.
Yeah, I think that was Clinton that did that. This was like in 94 when he got out.
He stopped killing in 97, right?
Well, he was dead in 97.
It was all in one. In
Well,
the
it was
span
like
of like
three months, right?
It was
Yeah.
3 or 4 months.
Okay.
Now, he wasn't going to stop killing until he was dead.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, so these two friends of him, David Madsen and Jeff Trail, they were his friends, but it's like that friend that you have that you hang out with just...
Because your other friends are busy?
Jeff Trail and David Madsen were more best friends than anything.
Lovers.
Yeah, I was thinking that
they were
too.
lovers.
I was like, I would have guessed that they were more than just friends.
Now, so I think Andrew actually... Because I know Andrew hooked up with Jeff prior, and then he met David after that.
But David wouldn't give him any.
David would not give him any. But I'm not saying that they haven't before, but David was definitely using them because, like, Andrew would buy him all these gifts. And most of the gifts he would just steal. You know, he was he's a drug dealer. He was, like, stealing shit.
Yeah.
You know? So Andrew Cunanan was in San Diego. That's where he was living. He eventually just boarded a plane, and he went to Minneapolis to spend the weekend with David, his lover. But...
Oh, wait. Okay, go ahead.
To spend the weekend with David, you know, his lover. But the thing is, no one knew Jeff Trail or David, or even the police after this, realized that he bought a one-way ticket. So he wasn't coming back. In fact,
he knew he was going to go there to kill them.
Yeah, and in fact, when he left San Diego, he threw himself like a last party. And everyone that was there, all of his friends, quote friends, would talk about how weird it was because it was like almost like a Last Supper. Like something's going to happen. And,
So weird.
yeah, so he knew he was
And
leaving
San
Diego for good.
He didn't like frame it like a going away party, like he's moving and not coming back.
Yeah, he framed it. No, he did frame it like that, but it was just so weird because it was like, oh, this is like my final...
It's the last hoorah.
Yeah, it was really weird. And like looking back on it, the people that were at that party would be like, yeah, now it makes sense. I don't know if he knew he was going to go kill before he left Minneapolis, but he soon realized that he was about to be a killer. So anyway, we talked about Jeff Trail in the last episode. They're at David's loft, and this was confusing because he picks up that claw hammer and just nails Jeff Trail in the face with that thing like 27 times.
Yeah.
While David, his companion, is standing right there like in shock. You know, and Jeff Trail is a big dude. He's like a bodybuilder. So he must have had to hit him like surprisingly at first. You know.
Rolls him up in the rug.
Yeah, so they roll him up in the rug, and then they just leave him there. Now, David didn't have anything to do with this, but when the cops finally like got into the house, they thought David was in the rug. And he wasn't. It was Jeff Trail. But it's David's apartment.
Right.
So then they thought David was the killer.
Yes. So then now everyone's looking for David as the killer.
Right.
Yeah. And then they link Andrew Cunanan. But it's still not a manhunt yet because he's only killed two people.
Yeah, it's like his first one, right?
Yeah.
So they're assuming that David's dead.
Yeah. So that's where we stopped last time. So, all right. Now, they're in Minnesota. David's loft was the Harmony Loft Apartments, which is a very nice suite. Remember, David was a architect. David, his lover, basically just watched his best friend Jeff Trail get murdered with a hammer. Now David Madsen is Andrew Cunanan's hostage. That's basically what it is. He wasn't like, you're my hostage, but they knew what it was.
Yeah.
You know, they knew exactly what it was. And David tried to escape before, but he didn't. Obviously didn't. They leave Minnesota and they're traveling in David Madsen's Jeep. They go to a county called Chisago. Not to be confused with
Trivago.
Ninjago.
Oh, Trivago. What is that?
That's the travel.
Chisago County in Minnesota
Yeah.
was about 100 miles away from the loft. Let me see. Population, I don't know. Who cares? It's somewhere in Minnesota. They're known for growing corn, soybean, and oats. They also have a very famous drug rehab center, the Hazelden Foundation, because it's all serene and that county and they're in right now. And the celebrities that have attended include Calvin Klein and Mr. Eric Clapton, which I didn't know Eric Clapton was a druggie.
I guess a lot of
I feel
rock
like
stars were.
most rock stars kind of
Yeah.
fit the bill.
You guys know where this is going to go. David's body was found May 3rd, 1997. That hostage situation lasted about 3 days. In Chisago is kind of a rural area, and they found an abandoned farm. They were going to hide out for a little bit. And it looked like, from the detective's point of view, that David Madsen, the lover of Andrew, didn't even see it coming. But a .40 caliber bullet went straight through his eyeball. Literally, in the Netflix series, they show Andrew cuddling up with David's body with a huge hole. I tried to explain last time, .40 calibers is a huge bullet. So it will literally legit put a hole where you can see through in someone's head. And it was, David Madsen was shot close range execution style with the .40 caliber. So you could most likely see through his head.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Brutal.
It's kind of cool.
It's just a wild image.
It's like a little eye hole.
Yeah.
So he looked like his eye was blown out. I don't know. What do you guys want from me?
We should go to Twin Ponds, the shooting range down the road. And
Rebecca, can you please read these things that are in yellow?
Sure.
We're reading from Vulgar Favors.
A body clothed in jeans and a plaid flannel shirt was lying on his back facing the lake about 12 feet from the water. The right eye had been blown out and his left eye was open. He had these defensive wounds in his left little finger and his right knuckle. He was shot in the right eye and right cheek and in the back between the shoulder blades. The bullet lodged in his chest.
Like, what did he think was going to happen? You're a hostage of Andrew. You know, if I was him, I would have tried to, I don't know, get the weapon. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Andrew's so manipulative.
But they
Maybe
went.
he did,
They
though.
went days like sleeping and stuff. He had ample opportunity.
Maybe he was just super sad because he watched
that's
his
true.
lover get murdered from this cuckoo guy.
But Andrew was also his lover. That's the thing.
No, but he got rejected.
Yeah. Well, Andrew
got
had asked
rejected.
him multiple times, David, if he would marry him.
Right.
Multiple times.
Right.
But David wasn't into it.
And David said
Exactly.
no, right?
so
Exactly.
David would probably be like, I'd rather be with Jeff.
In fact, that
I think
weekend,
he was scared.
that weekend that Andrew came down, David was going to skip town altogether, let them use the loft, but he didn't. And he should have.
He should have, because he would have been alive.
Yeah, and he could be on this podcast.
Yeah.
This is about an hour away from his loft. Well, the cops see David, okay? And, well, obviously David's not the killer. Now it's this Andrew Cunanan. Now the manhunt's on, but the manhunt's not really on because he hasn't killed anyone
Other
of
than
any
people he
prominent.
knows.
Well, not that he hasn't killed Versace, or he hasn't killed this real estate mogul. Anyone that matters, if I should say. I know it sounds mean, but like
He's killing people that he knows.
Yeah.
but
Not
he's
high-profile
traveling.
people.
yeah, not high profile. And that's one of the things. That's why he targeted Versace. Because if you remember in his high school, they were like the most likely to be remembered. Versace was the biggest name in fashion at the time.
Right.
I mean, he basically created that homosexual Miami Beach scene.
But he also knew him.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
didn't
he
he have
did-
like a
yeah.
major
Totally
crush
we
on
haven't
him
talked about it
too?
Yeah, I have a question.
Okay.
Are we going to go in? Are you about to go into how he chose Versace out of anyone he could have gone? Because, or can I make an
Yeah, go ahead.
assumption? Because I remember during the last episode you said, like, if he said that if he contracted AIDS, he would just kill
Yeah.
a whole bunch of people. And didn't Versace have HIV?
I think he did, yeah.
So
yeah.
when he went on that date or whatever it was with Versace, like, you know, you said that they haven't been found.
So you think Versace gave him HIV?
Or vice versa.
Oh, I like it.
like maybe that's why he targeted him.
Yeah.
But he didn't have AIDS though.
Well,
Cunanan didn't he like think
all right, so he said to one of his friends, if I contract AIDS, I'll go on a, quote, 5-state killing spree.
right.
But I didn't find anywhere affirmative where either one of those people had HIV. But then again, it's so likely that they did because AIDS, especially in that time, like, and plus they were doing freaking meth and barebacking. We talked a lot about barebacking last time. Like, I mean, a lot of people probably had AIDS back then. I don't know.
It's like still an epidemic, especially in less wealthier countries. But I feel like it's more of a controlled epidemic now because it's not.
And they're slowly figuring out ways to cure it too.
Are they though?
Cure or
I think
treat?
manage.
Because I think I don't
treat.
Yeah. Honestly,
like,
I
better.
think there could be cures for this stuff already, but there's no money in curing a disease.
Yeah.
There's a lot of money in treating a disease.
So true.
You know, I think, didn't Magic Johnson have HIV? Have you seen that South Park where he just injects himself with money?
I'm not.
That's
Like the cure
negative.
for HIV is injecting yourself with money.
We're off to Chicago.
Now, he has his first 2 murder. How do you know all this stuff?
I listened. You said like the Chicago mogul in the last episode.
Oh, yeah. David Madsen is now dead. Jeff Trail is now dead. His 2 best friends, if you want to call them that, I mean, I think they were. I think secretly they liked Andrew because Andrew was the life of the party. So when they went out, if they went out together, it was probably okay. But when they went out with Andrew, they knew people were going to be looking at him because Andrew was always the life of the party. Now, Andrew was also doing methamphetamine right now, going downhill, basically falling off a fucking cliff. I knew guys like this, like Andrew, because all these people would be like, there was just something evil in him, you know, where it's like that guy that just leaves a path of destruction everywhere he goes, like burns
care.
all these bridges, you know what I'm saying? Like, I knew guys like that too. Like, they do that. They're like self-destructive, but they also like leave this path of destruction. That's Andrew. The detectives know that it's not David Madsen. Number one, they thought he was in the freaking rug. Then they thought he was out spree killing. Now 2 fishermen find him dead at this lake with a hole in his head. Okay, it's definitely not David Madsen. It's definitely this Andrew Cunanan or whatever. When the news finally got out and finally got back to San Diego, all of Andrew's so-called friends, when they saw the news that said Andrew Cunanan, killer, but then they saw Andrew De Silva's picture.
Oh.
Plot twist.
This guy, you know, that you've known for years.
But apparently you don't know.
I mean, no one really knows him. But that's the thing.
Because you don't even know his name.
But that's the thing about Andrew Cunanan. Nobody really knows him. But everyone...
an enigma.
Likes an enigma. But everyone knows that he's full of shit. Everyone knows he's like that.
Enema.
What?
Because he's full of shit. He needs an enema for the enigma. Sorry.
Okay. That's enough sugar for you.
That would be a good name for an enema company, Enigma. You know it's full of shit.
I love that.
But what? But why?
But what's really going to come out?
We don't make...
Write that down in your stand-up book, Jen.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
They see Andrew's face, but they're like, who the shit is Andrew Cunanan? This isn't Andrew De Silva, but is him. You know?
He's been lying the whole time.
So now these guys that knew him for years, like, okay, I didn't know this guy, and he just killed these 2 people. Should I be worried?
Yes.
And they should have been worried. If he would have,
I would think so.
I guarantee you, if Andrew Cunanan would have went back to San Diego, he would have killed all them damn people. But he had bigger fish to fry. Okay? Because he ain't going to be... We cover a lot of serial killers that kill all these people, and who knows... Who are they? No one knows. If you want to be famous, you got to kill someone famous. You got to go down in the history books. Okay? I mean, that's just how it is. You know what I'm saying?
It's true.
Lee Miglin was a 75-year-old real estate mogul in Chicago. The Miglin Company has a lot of real estate. And I'm talking about not just house. Oh, that's a nice house. It's a 2-bedroom. No, I'm talking about sky fucking scrapers.
Oh, shit.
Like, these are legit. Like, they build stadiums and shit like that. Like, big buildings. When Lee Miglin walks into a room, you know it's the guy that built Chicago. basically.
Really?
I wonder
Yeah.
which ones he did in Chicago, because that was my favorite part when I went there. Is just walking down like the Magnificent Mile and taking a picture of the architecture.
Well, is he an
It's so
architect
pretty.
or a real estate
No,
broker?
he's a real estate mogul, so he builds. So he probably does both.
Oh,
Hey,
I thought he was. Oh, I'm so confused. I get it.
He was not
Never
the
mind.
architect, but he
he may have been an architect. I didn't dive into his past, but I mean, he owns the building, so
Right,
that's
right,
even
okay.
better. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Oh,
it is
that,
even- it is even
that
better.
makes more sense.
Yeah. All right. So here's the thing that kind of drives me crazy about this murder right here
What's that?
is because you're not going to find it how I tell it. I mean, in the book, she did it right, Maureen Orth, because she told the facts. But everywhere else, even in, well, the Netflix series kind of does it justice. But I've been watching recent interviews, and the family especially, still says, oh, it was just a random attack. Andrew Cunanan just randomly picked Lee Migland and went into his home. He was a thief. He just wanted money. He didn't know him. Come on. I'm about to tell you right now, he knew him. All right, you drive 400 miles
knew
to
him in the
Chicago
biblical
and you
sense.
go up to
That's
his...
right.
What?
The
he knew him in
bootay.
the biblical sense.
What?
Yes.
You never heard
Like
that
gay.
expression?
He got intimate.
Okay, do y'all know who Marilyn Migland is?
No.
I thought you guys would because she was a pitchman on the Home Shopping Network. She also has her own cosmetic line.
Huh.
So they were married for 37 years. She was actually out of town. She calls her husband, hey, you gonna be okay? He's like, what? Can't hear you. I'm old. Like, I said I'm gonna be gone till Sunday.
As he's strapping on his leather outfit.
Okay.
All right. I'm just picturing like a wrinkly old guy
Yeah.
and like fucking pleather.
She,
Pleathers.
his wife, Marilyn Migland, tells Lee, 37 years of marriage. She says, I'm going to Canada. Well, she had like business, not just going to Canada. I'm going to Canada. I'll be back on Sunday, which was May 3rd, 1997. Now, why is that date important?
Because that was the
That's-
day that David
That was
found.
the day these fishermen pulled David's body out of the lake, right? So that day, May 3rd, is when she was coming back to her loving husband of 37 years. No one knows what happened during the time Andrew was there. Obviously, Andrew drives 400 miles because he knows him.
Yeah.
Drives all the
It's
way to
very
Chicago.
specific.
Let's be honest here. He was a cat boy for Lee Migland. Yeah, and you guys know what a cat boy is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did discuss
Now,
this,
Andrew
yes.
had other, what is the cat boy called? Like the cat-
keeper?
The keeper. He had other
Keeper of the
keepers.
balls.
Yeah.
Sorry.
He
I
had
don't know if that's true. It just sounds like something that's right.
Yeah.
Andrew.
Or sugar daddy. Could it be?
Yeah,
other
Andrew
sugar
had other
daddies?
sugar daddies, other keepers before. So this isn't a new thing. Now, this may be a different arrangement. I don't think he was exactly a cat boy. I think he was, oh, Andrew's in town. I want to get bound up and spit on for an hour. You know, here's a couple $1,000. I think it was more like that. Like, because the S&M thing is,
S&M.
S&M thing is like really popular
Yeah.
with wealthy men married for 37 years, apparently.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
I
a
don't
very
know.
specific time to explore.
I know.
Yeah.
Midlife crisis.
His wife pulls up.
True.
No, he's
Story.
past midnight.
Yeah,
He's
that's
75.
true.
Yeah.
But midlife.
He is.
Mid-marriage crisis.
His wife of 37 years pulls up into the driveway. She's home from Canada. She's about to see her loving husband. She walks into the home. He doesn't come answer the door. In fact, she was supposed to be picked up at the airport. She has to get in a cab. Are you serious?
That's like my
Marilyn
biggest fear.
Migland from Home Shopping Network, one of the biggest names in the country, has to get in a cab. Like, fuck you. Like, he was supposed to pick her up at the airport and he didn't show up. But she wasn't like, damn. She knew exactly something was wrong. On the counter, and this is a wealthy architect, like business mogul, like tidiness is not even, I mean, you spick and span everything. I mean, he's very well organized. There was a Haagen-Dazs ice cream left on the counter. There was like all kinds of dishes in the sink. There was something wrong here. This isn't my husband. Who wants to read?
Nicole.
Nicole, can you read the first thing, please?
I sensed that she was right. Something very bad had occurred. First, there in the kitchen was a pint of Haagen-Dazs ice cream with a spoon stuck in it, half eaten and half coagulated. And secondly, there was an empty Coke can on the side in the sink. Lee was a serious, fastidious, compulsive kind of man.
Dang it. I'd hope you stumble on some of them words.
Coagulated.
Yeah.
That's a good word.
That's a good word.
is a good word.
Yeah.
Because it's got the C in there. That's what pissed me off about the C. You can't just do...
You know what letters right there?
The first thing I saw disturbed me greatly. I saw a ham, like a Smithfield ham, on a bone.
Yum.
I saw that literally on the desk in the library with the slice cut out of it. The knife was stuck right in the ham, and it wasn't even on a plate. Oh my God, I said to myself, I guess Lee Miglin would never have left a Coke can in his sink or a pint of ice cream on his countertop, let alone a ham on his desk. So it was pretty obvious pretty quickly that something very bad had happened. Oh my God, is the ham his leg?
What? Oh my God, what the fuck?
That ain't no ham bone. That's a femur bone.
What the fuck?
You said that this was the most disturbing.
Dark turn.
You said,
John, watch out.
hang on.
Wait,
You
speaking
said
of
that
him,
this was the most fucked up killing we've ever talked about. So that's why I thought this was going.
Well, that was clickbait.
That was clickbait.
Yeah, that's really weird that you said that, but we'll revisit that another day.
You said that it was the most disturbing thing. I
wonder-
I thought it was his leg on the
Did
fucking desk.
He
Use-
said ham. There's a ham.
But
you,
a ham hock could look like a thigh.
if you have thick
Yeah.
thighs, you
do
gotta
you
be a
really think Andrew
BBW.
Cunanan ate this guy?
Ooh.
I thought that's
What
where
the
we were going.
He
with
wanted
this.
more of Miglin in him. Sorry.
All right. So the neighbor Steve Byer, the neighbor is walking by. He's like, Steve, or she's like, Steve. Well, that was the same voice.
Yeah, no.
She's like, Steve.
Yes.
So he runs up there and she's telling him something's wrong. My husband's dead. That's what she told Steve.
Yeah.
My husband is dead. I mean, 37 years of marriage, you know exactly if your husband's dead or
But
not.
she doesn't know that he is, into
ham.
S&M with a 30-something year
I'm
old.
pretty sure they still deny that till this day. Because Andrew, I do want to point out that Andrew, as a quote thief, did take $2,000, two very nice suits, and some jewelry, and also a Ferragamo shoe. Ferragamo. I just wanted
One
to say
shoe?
that.
I know, one shoe.
Cinderella.
Well, one shoe was
Oh,
found.
I love that.
Oh my God. All right. So anyway, they go and they search the house. Now they can't find Lee anywhere. They go to the garage. The green Lexus is gone. He drives his green Lexus because he's rich. So now they're both kind of freaking out, but Steve Byers trying to calm her down. It's fine. He probably went to the gym
He's
and
probably
fell
all
asleep.
leathered up with his gay boyfriend.
They don't know that he's into this. This is
I
a
know.
hush
I'm
hush.
just
Yeah.
kind of referring back to the things that they don't know.
Steve looks all around, and he's the one that sees the Lexus is in there. He goes back. Okay, the Lexus is in here. Now the Lexus. I don't know if you guys remember this because you're way too young, but cars used to have phones in them called car
Yeah,
phones.
called car phones.
Who'd have
Yeah.
thunk?
I
What
know.
a crazy name for
I
such
know.
a
Yeah,
Wow.
my mom used to have one. The thing was
Yeah.
it was huge.
Bosley had one in Charlie's Angels. And
Oh
I
my
thought
gosh.
that's my favorite show.
I want to get a car
liked the
phone.
movie.
Yeah, I have.
I'm gonna trade my
movie.
cell phone in for a car phone. Steve Byer, the neighbor, goes around. Now the bathroom with its white marble sink. I guess marble is expensive or something.
Yeah.
It still is.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
So it's marble sink. It was pure plush white, but there was little black hairs in it.
Ew, pubes.
No, not pubes. The fuck?
That's all right.
Andrew had shaved his face.
Thank
Oh my
you.
God.
Yeah.
Andrew shaved his face. It's hair from the face, not pubes. What are you? Pubes in the sink?
The way, maybe he was
He could be tall.
He just stands over the sink with a razor and is like,
Yeah, you're gonna try it next time. I'm just
no, the best way to do it for a guy is sitting on the toilet. No, I'm saying, and just,
that actually makes sense, but ew.
no, what you do is, see, guys
No,
aren't,
that's enough. You didn't need any more than that.
I still can't get that toothbrush to fit up there.
That was a a real guttural laugh. Thank you.
Okay, so the Lexus isn't there. Now, the wife, Marilyn's like, oh my gosh. I mean, she knows her husband. That motherfucker is dead in the trunk. That's what she says. He's dead in the trunk. I know it. I swear to God, he's dead. Don't even look for him. The car's gone. He's in the trunk. Now, they called the car phone twice, but it didn't pick up. Andrew didn't pick. Obviously, Andrew's driving a car. You guys get that right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Oh. Yeah.
Okay. Now,
Totally
multiple
do that.
police officers show up. And because, I mean, he's a wealthy magnate, right? That's the right word? Mm-hmm. Liquid magnate. Anyway, he's this
Liquid
real
gold?
estate mogul. So, no, magnate's like... Anyway.
Lava?
That's magma.
Magma. Liquid magma.
Magnum?
Magnum.
Magnum is a condom.
Yeah.
And the ice cream.
Oh my God.
That ice cream is amazing.
The Rocky Road
I
Magnum.
like the... That's really funny. That's...
Double stuffed chocolate.
I believe that actually is a flavor.
Marshmallow cream.
Around this time, police officers started showing up like crazy because they knew something was wrong, and his wife was prominent Home Shopping Network. Like, they're going to have a lot of police there. You know, no one would have thought that Andrew Cunanan would have drove 400 miles
For this guy.
for this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the family, and it's crazy because even if you watch like the documentary on CBS or whatever, those documentaries, if they touch the Lee Miglin story, is very briefly. And if they touch it at all, it's, oh, and then he went and he robbed this guy.
They probably
this-
have like a non-disclosure
Exactly.
contract.
It's like, oh, they robbed this real estate guy. Oh, moving on.
Does the author in the book talk about it?
Oh, yeah.
Does she talk about she suspects a relationship between the two?
Yeah, she goes into depth about it. And here's the thing.
Literally.
I'm sure.
Steve Byers' wife came over to comfort Marilyn, and she walks into the garage to make sure that the everything's what they said it was. Okay, the Lexus is gone. The cops are with her. They walk back into the house, but she stops in the doorway because she's got that sense, that sense that just like
The Sixth Sense?
not a sixth sense, like she sees dead people. But it's like,
And she sees the ghost of Lee, and he's like,
it's like that
this
sense
is what happened.
when you know something's just out of
Intuition.
place.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like something's nagging
That
at you.
gut feeling.
The gut feeling. Intuition. She stops in the door and she looks back in the garage and she takes an even closer look this time and push back towards the edge of the garage, towards the family Jeep. They have a Jeep too. Is blood on the cement. I'm picturing the garage like cement, and there's like blood, just not much, and it's pushed in the bag. You can't really see anything, but there's
Because it's cement. Sorry.
Cement, baby.
Huh?
Cement.
You sound like you're saying semen.
I didn't even say cement yet. I said you can't see anything because it's pushed in the bag.
No, you said you did say cement.
Did I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When?
Like
The whole
10
time.
seconds ago.
Oh. So she looks back, she sees blood on the floor, and then towards the edge of the garage by the Jeep, she sees like these brown trash bag looking things. And she walks over there, and immediately she saw the body. And this is why I say that Andrew knew him. Lying on his back, fully clothed, is the 75-year-old real estate mogul Lee Miglin. Tan suede jacket, white shirt, jeans. Now the jeans, because I'm fully clothed. He had one shoe on, one shoe off. The Ferragamo shoes. Mm-hmm. Nicole has met the Ferragamos.
No. It's my friend. I don't know.
Oh.
My friend knew him.
Is it related to them? Or
Yeah,
Ooh.
something like that.
So
Fancy.
Yeah.
I'm talking about socks are still on. I mean, completely clothed. But his jeans, the zipper was ripped off.
Yes.
Oh.
No, I'm just like,
She's into that.
expose the secret.
Imagine seeing this. Obviously, we'll get to the fact that he's obviously dead. But his ankles were tied up, bound, hog-tied. Not with rope like normal people would do, but with, that orange extension cord that we have in the barn, the barn.
Like there's a barn.
That we have that orange extension cord.
Yeah.
So you take that around someone's ankle and you just wrap it up. You can't, that is pretty strong. You can't break from that. His face, you could hardly see the blood, and there's a lot of blood I'm going to tell you about. His face was completely covered in masking tape. He looked like a freaking mummy.
Again.
Okay, here's what happened. Andrew has met Lee Miglin before. Lee Miglin, 75 years old, married 37 years, has a whole family. Rest in peace. But you were into some crazy shit. You met Andrew Cunanan because Andrew Cunanan's got a specialty, bondage. So they've hooked up before. Let's be honest. You don't drive 400 miles to Chicago after you murder your two best friends on a whim to steal someone's 2 suits and $2,000. I'm sorry. You freaking know this guy.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Like, the family come out.
Especially because he had.
Let's be honest.
Well, I don't know the other person that he killed, but he at least knew Versace.
Yeah, exactly. Plus, other people have seen them talking earlier that day together. It's not like he went up and, bow, give me your money. I'm going to make you look like a sex whore or something. Like, no. Here's what happened. Andrew, gets to the house. He's invited, probably through one of those third-party connections. My wife's out of town. She's in Canada. I heard Andrew Cunanan's coming back. He did that thing last time. So he invites Andrew over to the home, and they immediately get to it. And just like the bondage we talked about last week, the scary thing about it is there's no control. Andrew is always in control. Always. That means this death was one of the most horrible, in my opinion, because there was nothing he could do. His face was completely taped up. No one, he couldn't breathe because he's got masking tape over his mouth. But he likes that. That's the thing. He likes that up until a point before he's about to die.
Autoerotic asphyxiation.
Yeah, the whole thrill of it is to think you're about to die. That's the whole thing. And you got an extension cord, and then your face is all taped up, look like a fucking mummy. Lee Miglin's lying on the floor, and this murder happened in the garage. Andrew Cunanan, at some point during the zipper ripping off or whatever, decides to pick up some freaking garden shears. So it's like the big scissors, you're kind to the bushes, the bushes out back. He picks up some garden shears and not like, I'm going to stab you in the heart. No, in the face. Boom, dozens of times in the same spot on the face.
That is personal.
He's stabbing this mummy-looking creature, because remember, this 75-year-old man is dressed up like a mummy.
Yeah.
Just, ow, on the face. Dozens of times with garden shears. Holy shit. Jeez. And then after, obviously he's already dead. Because, half of it went to his brain.
Yeah, he probably died pretty quickly.
And that's scary. All right, number one, what would usually happen was Andrew would tape up his mouth or do whatever. And then at the last second, poke a hole in his mouth so he can breathe. Oh my God. Oh, it feels so good. Oh, whew. Let me smoke a cigarette. But today is different. Because that hole came from fucking garden shears. And that wasn't the hole he was looking for. Yes. That's what happened. I don't know. That's, and then to fucking make matters even worse, no one knows why, there was 2 bags of cement. Or what is it?
Cement.
I hope it wasn't 2 bags.
There were 2 bags of cement. There was 2 bags of cement. He picks up 2 bags of cement, lifts them over his head. Now, Andrew's not a big guy. Cement is heavy. And he smashes them down right on Lee Miglin's chest, fracturing his entire rib cage.
Yikes.
After he's already dead. Why would you even go?
He's manic.
He was feeling...
Yes, that's a great word, manic.
He was feeling good.
Because, why? Why not? Because he's a fucking spree killer now. Well, I guess that's what I'm going to do now. It's like us. We're fucking podcasters now. I guess we'll keep going. He's like, I'm a fucking spree killer. I might as well just knock it up a notch.
Let's see how far we can go.
So, yeah. But the family, God, dude, listen. He was into the crazy shit. I'm sorry. That's what happened. That's what fucking happened. He was into that shit. It wasn't a robbery. They eventually found the Lexus, the green Lexus, and one of the Ferragamo shoes was in the trunk. So they were, yeah. Anyway, here, you can read page 275.
Neither his white-on-white patterned tab-collared shirt nor his sleeveless white shirt showed signs of being cut through, but in fact, Miglin had been slashed numerous times in the neck and stabbed several times in the chest. 2 stab wounds 2 inches deep had penetrated his heart. There were over 24 blows, causing bruises or lacerations to his head, face, and chin. The blood from these wounds soaked through layer upon layer of the 3/4-inch masking tape that had been wound around his head mummy style, except for an opening in the nostrils and at the top of his head.
That's fucking crazy. Using
the blade of the garden bow, saw that he also subsequently dumped into the garbage. Andrew nearly severed Lee Miglin's head with a 7.5-inch jagged gash, 2 inches deep, that wound around from the back of his neck to his throat. For good measure, Andrew also threw 2 bags of cement on top of Miglin's chest and fractured every one of his ribs. Then he covered the body with plastic garbage bags and put brown paper on top of those.
I mean, what the shit? He almost severed his fucking head with some fucking garden shears. What the shit? Yeah. Like, what is going through this guy's mind right now? And he's probably getting off on it. Like, you like the bondage, yeah. I like the kill. I mean, he's like, yeah.
Okay.
You know?
No.
Nope, can't say that I really know. Okay.
I just had like a really random thought.
Yeah.
Sort of random, not really. But did y'all say that he was like an altar boy?
Yeah, he was.
Okay.
He was Catholic. Okay. And he was an altar boy.
Okay,
yeah.
so this is what I just kind of like came up with this. So, you know, like how in the Bible, man was created by taking the rib from Eve and all that stuff. And once he came out, like I'm sure since he was super religious, especially in that time when like the gays aren't as accepted as they are right now in our community, I just wonder if like he was taking out all this rage because like he broke all of his ribs. You know, see what I'm trying to say that I'm not really articulating very well?
He's like kind of alluding to something biblically.
Well, and he has so much anger in him because I'm sure his family wasn't happy, like that he's gay.
True.
And I'm sure Catholics. He has an internal struggle from like, oh, you know, as a Christian, you know, I shouldn't be gay, or, you know, like what kind of like, especially I'm sure like very religious, like uber religious people think. So I'm sure he had a lot of guilt with that. And that might be why he just couldn't stop the killing.
Interesting. Yeah.
The police actually try to call the Lexus multiple times because remember, it's got the car phone. And they use this, I don't know if it's still the software they use now, but it's called Triggerfish. It's like this triangulation.
Ew.
What?
That sounds dirty.
I know. It's like this triangulation of cell phone towers. I don't know how that shit works. Okay. But anyway, they actually could see where his car was because it was still picking up the car phone. And they could tell that Andrew actually tried to use the car phone multiple times to call someone, but he couldn't figure out the passcode or whatever. Now, after they called the phone, they triangulated the Lexus, the green Lexus, to be near Pittsburgh. And for some fucking reason that I can't even damn imagine, and I don't want to make fun of cops, but what the shit were you guys thinking? They put out a press release the next morning and said, oh, he's in the Pittsburgh area. Just look out. We got this software. It got his car. They said all this shit in a press release. So obviously he's in the car listening to this right now. Because when they found the car, the antenna from the car phone was completely ripped out. Like, obviously, he heard the press release, you idiots. Like, you could have got him right there. But you didn't because you did this stupid press release. Like an idiot.
Interesting.
Fuck, I don't even know how to say anything else. Like, why would you fucking do that? It's like, oh, we're so close to getting him because we know he's in the area because we got, and there's no way he's going to be listening to this. Like, are you fucking kidding me? He's a damn serial killer. Of course they listen to everything. God. Anyway. And the reason that pisses me off is because that is the reason he decided to ditch that green Lexus. And this is mother shitting sad. But he drove, well, number one, he drove straight to New York. They triangulate him in Pittsburgh, but he got to New York. Monday, May 5th, 12:45 a.m., he registered at the West Side Club. And that is a gay men's bathhouse. Do y'all know what a bathhouse is?
Bathhouses? Do
Is
they
it like a
clean
brothel?
each other?
It's like a brothel, yeah.
Oh.
Well, they probably do clean each
Yeah,
other.
they do.
Yeah. Like in...
Wax on, wax off.
It's really like it's a spa. They
Yeah.
like pass it off as a spa for men.
It's like those,
but it's really
like in Mount Pleasant, the Asian massage places. If you go down Hungry Neck and you take a left and you go, so these Asian I'm just kidding.
I was like, what?
I was like,
They give you
the
handies.
Place because I got the reflexology there.
No, they give you handies there, Jen. That's a handy bar.
I had a.
You got to
back
ask for
massage.
Susan. Even though none of them's name is Susan, they'll be like, oh, Susan, okay. Oh, shit, the video's on.
Yeah. Oh, don't worry. I'm sure they like stopped watching a long time ago.
This looks like 5 hours. He checks into the bathhouse. Now, a bathhouse is a place where you can go after the bars close at 2. You can go and pretty much, it's almost like a little YMCA.
I was just gonna say you took my line. I was gonna say like the YMCA.
Yeah. You go, it's like a YMCA that you
Young
go.
man.
So Andrew's homeless, right? He didn't want.
Young man.
Oh.
He didn't want to spend any money on a hotel, so
You can't go there.
he spends all day in the bar.
To the YMCA.
All right, so he's in this bathhouse because he's not living anywhere. He's literally a spree killer on fucking meth. He's still on meth. He's driving through New York City. Ooh. He has nowhere to live, so he spends all day in the bars. And then at night, at 2 a.m, he checks into these bathhouses, which are kind of like brothels plus the YMCA. It's like a brothel YMCA. It's like a BMCA or whatever. Now, while he was there, I do want to point out that he went to the famous 57th Street in New York and shopped at the original Levi's store. Yeah, so he still has his taste.
Did he go into the Versace store?
No, that'd be fun. But
funny.
He's living off the money that he stole from Lee Miglin, and he's seeing movies, and he's still trying to act like he's rich.
$2,000?
Yes,
That
he's
was
still.
a lot in the 90s, remember?
He's still.
But was it really?
He puts on Lee Miglin's
Lot more than
suit
it
and
is.
he
It's
goes to
still
the
a lot of
bars and he
money
still
for a
tries to
couple days.
pretend he's someone
Oh,
he's
I
not.
bet he was picking up some side cash with that one Ferragamo shoe.
Oh yeah.
For like people with foot fetishes, like, look what I got for you.
Oh, yeah.
Ferragamo.
One of the reasons it was so hard to catch this guy is because he was what Ted Bundy was, what they call a chameleon. Mm-hmm. And so if you see the many faces of Andrew Cunanan.
Ooh, let me see.
It's weird, especially the difference between like that top right hand photo.
That's all the same guy, yeah.
Yeah.
He almost looks like, in the top left photo,
Yeah.
almost looks like Channing Tatum.
Yeah, it does.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then,
Sorry, Channing.
yeah, I love Channing Tatum, but
And then,
look at this one.
and then the top 30 kind of looks a little more on the like an Asian descent.
yeah. Then in the bottom right hand corner, he looks like Brendan Urie from Panic at the Disco.
You know, he's pansexual, whatever
is.
that means.
It
That means
that-
everything. Pan means all.
Yeah, meaning it's different than bisexual.
That's all, that also means bread. And
It does.
Yeah, I think in.
It does.
But like meaning,
Spanish.
you know, because some people don't identify on a binary
So he's just-
scale.
Yeah.
He's likes the person for the person, not for what they define themselves as. Essentially,
Yeah.
I can't keep up anymore. Much like Ted Bundy, he can literally shapeshift his face. It's crazy.
yeah.
It is.
He hears the thing on, oh, they're about to catch me. They're looking for this fucking car. I got to get rid of it. So he does. This is an official manhunt. Multiple media outlets are posting about this and everything else. So he's like, I got to get rid of this fucking car. So he pulls into the Delaware Memorial Bridge. Now, this is right at the Delaware and New Jersey border.
Okay, yeah.
If you look on the Google, it's right at the border. So he asked, is there any historical sites around here? You know, Andrew just killed 3 people, but he goes in and asks information with his glasses on. Excuse me, is there I'm just an intelligent man. I'm looking for a historical site so I can better intelligate myself.
Intelligent.
The information office tells them, yes, if you go to Pennsville, New Jersey, there is a remote Civil War burial ground at Finns Point National Cemetery. Now, I'm just going to get through this real quick because it's very sad. He goes there, and I was way out in the boons. He's at Finns Point National Cemetery. This guy named Bill Reese. Rest in peace, family man, good guy, has a wife. He is a cemetery caretaker. The Civil War cemetery caretaker. Out in the, a good guy. Anyway, he has a 1995 red pickup truck. And no one knows if Andrew saw the truck or Andrew killed him because he wanted a truck.
Right.
Because the cops put out a fucking press release. He had to get rid of the Lexus. So he stops. He sees this guy's 1995 red pickup truck. He goes, kills him execution style. This family man, very sad, older guy, very sad. It was like nothing else. I mean, that was literally random. That's what's weird about it because he would now he's killing anyone. So he goes,
he's just kind of like anyone that's in his way.
But it's still a purpose, though, because he killed for
But
a
he
car.
didn't have to kill.
But
he could have just took the car.
True.
Or something. I don't know. I mean, the guy didn't even know who Andrew Cunanan was. He's an old man. He doesn't watch the news.
Maybe he just thought because he was such a great person and he's going to be so famous that he had to kill him because people already know him.
Yeah, could be.
Maybe.
Like, it would help.
I don't know.
The more people he killed, the more infamous he would be.
I don't know why he killed him. He certainly didn't have to. The guy gave him his truck willingly.
Oh, that's
and
so sad.
The wife, the author goes into the whole story about the wife and everything. I mean, how sad it is. It's really sad. It's a really sad story.
How do we know that he gave him the truck willingly, though? Like, if Andrew's dead and he's dead.
Andrew shot him in the back of the head when he was down on his knees. So it was like an execution. So Andrew's basically he was like, listen, if you listen to me, you're not going to get hurt. And then the guy gives him his truck. And then Andrew's like, get down.
Shoots him anyway.
Yeah, in the basement. He's like, get down here, get on your knees. And then he shoots him in the head. So he takes that truck. He drives down to Florence, South Carolina. And then parts where I grew up in that. No, I didn't grow up there. But he goes, he just stops through South Carolina in Florence at the Walmart. I've been there at Walmart a couple times. And he takes
that exact Walmart?
Yeah, the exact Walmart. Yeah. He takes a license plate off of a random car.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah. I mean, 160 IQ,
True.
I mean, you're smart too. You have these glasses. So. Now, he arrived at Miami Beach. Now, the cops think he's still up north. They have no idea where this asshole's at. They definitely don't know he drove however many miles all the way down to Miami Beach. What the shit?
It's a long drive.
Yeah. In a red pickup truck.
Yeah, I wouldn't even drive to Miami Beach now. It's too long.
I hate that drive.
Now he's on the FBI most wanted list. Ooh. And he gets down to Miami Beach. And I'll tell you, Miami Beach, he gets down there May 11th. And he stayed in the Normandy Plaza, which is like a hotel. He persuaded the hotel lady to give him a good deal. And he even got the best room in the hotel because he was like, you know what? I grew up in Spain near the beaches. And I know it's so hard, but can you just please put me in the best room facing the beach? Right on Miami Beach. So he got a really good rate on that. But it's this crummy hotel. Nicole, read page 362.
The cycle of dominant South Beach culture is this. A, go to the gym. B, go to the beach and plan for the evening. C, go to clubs. And D, trip on ecstasy with friends who have successfully completed A, B, and C, thereby establishing oneself as an untouchable circle of gods. Ocean Drive magazine editor Glenn Albin wrote in 1995's In Out magazine. These circles are then broken into further categories of professionals, waiters, and those doing steroids. Though on the dance floor, ecstasy clusters, groups of 3 to 5 shirtless men, joined like an enzyme, often blur the distinctions the later it gets.
That sounds like my weekday. All right. All right. So now he's down in Miami Beach, May 11th. Now, he didn't actually get caught until July 23rd. So he actually lived in that hotel, much like Ted Bundy did, living in a hotel. But he didn't, and he actually made friends down there. And not only that, there were multiple people call, because now he's on America's Most Wanted, you know, and like the manhunt and all that stuff. Like he's all over the place. There were so many people that called him. And there was this one sandwich shop that was like, this is the guy, the employee. It's like, this is the guy I saw on America's Most Wanted. And then they came and raided the sandwich shop, but he had left 10 minutes before. This is before he killed Versace. They could have got him again, but they could not find this guy. And he actually pawned in this local pawn shop one of Lee Miglin's gold coins, and he signed his name, Andrew Cunanan. And the pawn shop is required to send that to the police. And so the pawn shop gets a lot of shit like, oh, you could have stopped it. No, they did send it.
Fault.
They did send it to the police. The police were just swamped with paperwork. I don't know if you can see me doing my quotes. I don't care. The police fucked this whole thing up. Right?
Yeah.
You know, I'm still mad at the police because they did that thing with the car and that guy's dead, Bill Reese. You know.
So did he come down to Florida, like planning what he was going to do?
I think so. No one knows for sure because. I'm just going to tell you this now to show you the video. They found him when they found Andrew finally after the Versace murder. It was July 23rd, 1997. And the best way to put it is they found him on a houseboat that he had broken into. And he was basically in squalor there. You know, and they found him half naked, hungry, and alone. And they found... I'll show you a picture of him deceased on the bed, and you see like Vanity Fair magazine spread about. And he was still could not get out of that, you know, at the very end. But he spends weeks in Miami planning for Versace's murder. He builds a shrine of Versace and gets it in his mind that this is what he has to do. And last time you pointed out, somebody was a Nicole that said, well, why did he not have a bodyguard?
Yeah.
I looked that up. At one point he did, but that bodyguard, Versace, redirected him into another part of the house. At one point there was a bodyguard in front of the gate, but not that day. While Andrew was down there, now he's running out of money. He's got the $2,000 left and he's selling like the suits and the Ferragamo shoes, but he's running out of money. And then he starts, on top of the meth he starts doing crack cocaine. And the guy he's buying crack from comes out and quotes to the media that he was selling him hundreds of dollars a week of crack cocaine. So he's doing crack now. And
Is
then
this before he kills
this is
Versace?
before he
Okay.
kills Versace. And then if you guys listen to episode 1, which I don't know why you'd be listening to this if you didn't.
We should go into the relationship with him. We haven't talked about the fact that he knew him.
No one can. The reason I didn't talk about that, they did meet on record one time, but no one knows anything else about that. They met at Versace's, and I can't remember the play he was doing the costumes
It was
for.
the opera, right?
Yeah, it's the opera. Starts with a C. I cannot remember this time. But they met at that point. That's the only time for sure that they have met. Now, the Netflix series goes into a speculation of them having a relationship. But keep in mind, Versace had a long-term companion, DeMarco, Ricky Martin, you know. And then that's who he is. Oh. Yeah. So he had a long-term companion at the time, but trying to break into that world even today, like there's still posts that come out today about the secrecy because Versace, there's not a lot that you can learn about that relationship or anything because the family's not going to let that leak out at all. Now, DeMarco, his long-term companion, was speculated to bring all kinds of gigolos, if you will, sort of like Andrew Cunanan, into the relationship. Does that make sense?
But that's
to have sex with both of them, I guess, at the same time. Kind of. I mean, he was kind of like a gigolo. Like it's a weird lifestyle, but they might have hooked up more and more then, but the family, you can't find anything on that.
So the show where they kind of speculate that, because all we watched, we after we recorded part 1, we watched that first episode.
Yeah.
And it does kind of make it seem like that they knew each other.
Yeah.
More than just acquaintances, I guess.
There was a lot of similarities between the two. They were both immigrants. They came from nothing, right? They're both Catholic. The only thing is, the difference is they came from nothing, but Versace actually built something.
Yeah.
And Andrew did not. They both had the same opportunity. Andrew wanted to be known, but it was because he was nothing. At the end of the day, I didn't even like doing this story because this guy's just a common thug.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He was whining, pouting. I'm not who I want to be, so I'm going to kill the fashion mogul that actually did something great with his life. You know, it makes me sad. It's bullshit.
So he killed them really, not necessarily because they had a relationship.
He killed him because he's fucking jealous.
But he knew him in some
he did know him. Yeah, you speculated the HIV, possibly, but I think it was more of
relations, which we don't know.
I think it was more of I'm a spree killer now, and I might as well kill.
I know Versace. I'm going to kill him.
Well,
I know.
I know everyone will remember me if I kill Versace. I don't know. Here, this is him inside Andrew Cunanan's houseboat. Here, I just.
That was so messy.
Yeah, he was living basically in squalor. You know, the houseboat that they found him on in Miami was someone else's houseboat. Obviously, he had cut the lock and was just living there. It was someone that was out of town, that owned the houseboat. And someone else was actually checking on it for him and noticed the lock. And then the entire SWAT teams and police force, it was a whole thing. It was on the news. Like, they had trucks pulling up. They surrounded the houseboat. They threw tear gas in there, and then they finally ran in there, and then they saw him dead. He was already dead before they even got there.
How did he kill himself?
With that 40 caliber right in the mouth. And in this video shows him dead, but
there he is.
Well, they just show him
those glasses.
The bed, glasses are on the table, and the gun.
Plot twister on my face.
Oh my gosh, his gun's in his hand.
Wow.
Glad we didn't see his pecker.
Yeah, Tacos Primos, I'm putting the video of the houseboat.
Very graphic. Shannon, do not watch.
Yeah, Shannon.
Oh, Shannon doesn't like...
She does not want the graphic photos.
Gotcha.
But, they found him, the most powerful quote I read, and the paper said this too, was when they found him July 23rd in that houseboat, he was half naked, hungry, and alone. Mm-hmm. I think that describes Andrew. The guy that, on his yearbook, wrote the famous quote, and that's all he wrote. Après nous le déluge. After me, the flood. That is so powerful. Think about that. After me, there's nothing. It's just destruction. And that's what it was. The whole mentality of these police were, I don't give a fuck. We got to stop this guy because he ain't going to quit. Mm-hmm. He's just on a fucking path of destruction.
It's kind of surprising, though, that he killed himself. Then
what else?
He gave up. He could have kept killing, but maybe he just realized he was backed into a corner.
He had no money and no food.
No money, no food, no friends. Everyone's trying to look for him, kill him. Mm-hmm. He had nothing. Mm-hmm. He's and
Versace was like the end game.
Exactly.
That was like the ultimate
the end game.
Goal.
He had nothing. He couldn't top that.
Yeah. Probably.
But it's if you compare both Versace, and if you guys want to do a lot of research on Versace, I didn't really do too much research on it.
It's really interesting.
Yeah, if you compare the two, you could tell they would have a connection, and it's just, one did something great, and the other one took it away. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of crazy. Anyway, that's my story on Andrew Cunanan killing the assassination of Gianni Versace. I hope you love this story. Part 2. Go to talkmurder.com/join. Become a Tacos Primo. Get one of our awesome t-shirts, some stickers, some swags, a lot of love. See these videos and get a hometown murder story. Oh, I do want to announce, this is very important. Jen can do Tuesdays and Thursdays recording. So we will be doing a hometown murder story every week. We're going to put it out on Fridays. We're going to put it out on Fridays every week. Hometown murder story. So Tacos Primos, be happy and submit more because I'm definitely going to get all your stories done. And I'm only doing stories for Tacos Primos. Anyway, that's my story. If you guys love this podcast, support us, please. Don't support all those other guys that got too much money and all these investors and shit. We're literally in the guest bedroom.
This is all we have to eat.
Rice cakes. You should find yourself an architect.
Any architects in Charleston?
I actually know some when I was doing real estate. I know a lot of architects. Anyway, all right, sorry. What? I do.
You've been holding that on Jen.
Yeah, you have.
Oh. Don't put the wedge in between us.
You don't want to date an architect. They're like pompous. You don't want that. I was just...
He thinks I'm pompous.
Oh.
Awkward.
All right, so here's my 30-day notice.
Oh, that's fucked.
I'm kidding.
I demand my room back.
Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah, this is like...
This was my room.
Which is so weird.
It's like our room now, like all of our rooms.
Yeah.
Let's get together. Yeah.
Hey, guys, so I do want to say that for our Tacos Primos, you can come record with us anytime. If you don't want to be on the microphone, we also have a couch in this studio, and you can just sit there and be awkward as fuck. But you can still come join us anytime you're in Charleston, so come on down.
Come on down.
Yeah, and it's just for Supremos.
It's Bob Barker.
The people that can afford $40 a year. Anyway, they're in Chicago. They're in Chicago.
Iago.
Oh, yeah.
They're in Chicago. What the fuck? It's such a weird... They're in Chicago.
Chicago.
They're in Chicago.
There you go. Yeah.
They're in God damn it.
Chicago.
And this is when John goes, bleh.
They're in the other part of Minnesota.
Yeah. So they travel...
Yeah.
We don't make poopy jokes.
Babe.
Maz.
Just don't say the F word.
The other F word.
Oh, that's right.
The ones that rhymes with art.
Right. Poot.
There you go.
Right.
Our pooty. All right, fuck it. Let's do it. All right, so they see... Hey, guess how many books I bought it last time at the book sale?
15.
37.
Oh, I was like, oh, is that right? 37. That's a lot.
You know why I bought that? Because I was like, Jen, pick a number 1 through 100. She said 37. I was like, that's how many books I'm buying.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah, so
He asked that
I really counted them out, too.
as we were like leaving pages.
I could just see him being like, one,
No, he said when we were leaving the house.
3.
I bought 37 books.
Were they good?
Fuck yeah, one
most
of them's the one we're reading now.
Most of them were
Shit.
true crime
Oh,
books.
really?
Yeah, this is one of them. See, look,
I
it's
probably
got
got like
$4
20.
in it.
Pause. Hold on. Y'all haven't changed the locks?
Fuck no.
I still have the key.
Oh, my God.